Buongiorno Angel. Da 24 mesi stiamo
Hello.
esaminando il progetto
Over the
finanziato
course
dall'Unione
of the
Europea
last 24
per
months, we
l'energia
worked on a
e le
project
infrastrutture.
funded by the European Union,
Questo
and we examined the impact of the mobility package on the workers in the road transport sector. Our project aimed to improve the working conditions of posted workers, and we also wanted to
sia
examine
nei processi di
the
reclutamento
effect of
sia
the
sulla
new
qualità
package
dei
on the
servizi.
sector.
In questo progetto hanno partecipato organizzazioni e
And
compagnie dell'Italia, della Spagna, della
we
Croazia, della Germania.
definitely wanted to find out what impact it has on the drivers.
L'intento
So
era
we
quello
worked
di
with
conoscere
organizations
la
from
prospettiva
Italy,
dei
Poland,
lavoratori
Croatia, Spain,
occupati
Greece, and Norway. Can you please tell us what organization you represent and what role you have in this project? Hello, Francesco. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to have a conversation with you. My name is Angel Lozano, and I am responsible for the report and research department at Antonio Bustamante Foundation in Spain. We work with the trade union CSIT from the Madrid region. We are a non-profit organization, and we conduct research, and we try to enforce good working conditions for workers. We organize training courses, and we also promote the independent trade union movement.
Bene, passiamo alla seconda domanda.
Very well.
Durante
Thank you very much
questo
for this
progetto ogni
introduction. I am
partner
now
ha
moving on to my
condiviso
first
i propri
question.
ragionamenti.
During this project,
In cosa
every
consiste
partner
questo progetto
organization
e quali
has
sono i limiti?
conducted a research, and
Soprattutto
the
quali sono gli effetti
partners
del pacchetto
examined
energia
the implementation of the EU directive,
di
and
solito
with a
quali
special
sono le
focus
principali
on
difficoltà
the
che
effect
automobilisti
on the road
incontrano?
transport sector. What can you tell us about the findings of your research? Yes, I would like to share the findings with you. We conducted research based on desk research, but also we conducted some interviews and online surveys which we conducted with employees and employers in the road transport sector. And we identified a number of issues in that sector. First of all, there is a general lack of knowledge of the posting of workers' regulations. And the regulations are often unclear to people. What's more, the newest directive does not guarantee all the necessary workers' rights. I must say that Spain is quite advanced in these areas, but the people we talked to shared that not everything is working as smoothly as we would expect. People also complained about poor remuneration, long working hours, and lack of appreciation from the employers for their work. And this mostly concerned the posted workers.
Bene, quindi abbiamo proseguito in questo ambito sempre nel
Very
pacchetto
well. Thank you
energia.
for this answer.
Ci dal suo punto di vista. 1.
The mobility package has been implemented, but what is the mobility package? What does it consist of? What should it guarantee in the road transport sector? The mobility package encompasses three key acts of law, and it was implemented and it came into force in 2022. And it lays down some basic rules that regulate cabotage and cross-trade operations, the driving and rest times, and also the cross-border operations. And we have two aims here: improvement of the working conditions of posted workers, introducing some social security measures for the posted workers. But there is another objective, is to ensure fair competition between transport companies in the EU, so that the transport is socially responsible and more efficient, but first of all, safe.
Bene, visto che il pacchetto mobilità tende a garantire queste
That's good
condizioni dei
to
lavoratori
hear.
e la protezione dei lavoratori e una
And
concorrenza
this mobility package is intended to protect the workers, but also to foster fair competition.
condizioni ci siano e queste nuove
In
normative
your
siano
opinion,
implementate.
have these new regulations been applied in Spain? So has this objective been achieved in your country?
De nuestra fase de investigación hemos podido concluir que la actual normativa no es
During
suficiente
our
para
research,
garantizar
we established that the existing regulations are insufficient to safeguard workers' rights when they are posted. This view was confirmed even by the employers, by the business owners. What's more, we established that the authorities don't know in many occasions how to apply these regulations, because these regulations are really difficult to interpret. So my answer is no, the implementation has not been sufficient at this moment. And also the directives have not been transposed to our regulations fully. For example, the use of tachographs has not been implemented to such extent, and a lot of things need to be improved and finally determined. So my answer is no. The regulations have come into force, but they are not fully applied yet.
Bene, passiamo alla prossima domanda. Vista questa negatività della
I am
precedente,
moving on to my next
il pacchetto di
question.
mobilità che definisce
And I'm sorry and sad to hear the negative answer from you.
questa nuova
This
configurazione
mobility package provides a new definition of a posted worker.
riesce a stigmatizzare chi sia o meno il lavoratore
And
distaccato
this new definition
e nel sistema spagnolo.
allows us to differentiate between posted workers in the EU from non-posted workers. Does this work in Spain? Yes, it's one of the key new items which were introduced in this new mobility package. We have a new definition of a posted worker, posted work. It differs from the definition in the directive from 1996. Two more additional operations were added in which a worker is also considered to be posted, and also the degree to which the worker is associated with the country in which they perform transport operation has been clearly defined. So a driver is a posted worker when they carry out cross-border operations, and also it's an operation between two member states other than the country of the employer's establishment. Another new element is that workers are considered to be posted when they carry out cabotage operations. And these are transport operations for a short period of time in the territory of a host member state by an operator established in another member state. And in these situations, workers are considered to be posted. Of course, there are many additional details, but I don't think we have enough time to discuss them all here.
Bene, andiamo avanti con le domande.
Very well.
L'altra novità abbastanza importante
I have more questions to you. There is a new item which was also introduced in this new mobility package. There are some guarantees for workers in the host countries, and these guarantees must be provided by the employer. Can you please name these guarantees?
Aparentemente la respuesta es muy sencilla. El empleador debe de garantizar a sus
The
trabajadores
answer is very
las
simple
mismas
here.
condiciones de empleo
The employer
y
must
seguridad
guarantee
para
the
acceder libre
same
a los
working
servicios
conditions
públicos
in the
gratuitos
host country, in the receiving
del
country,
trabajador
in
sin
which
que
the
los
worker is posted,
que se apliquen y deben
if they are more favorable
esas
than the
condiciones en la
conditions in
regulación
the
laboral.
sending
¿Sobre qué
country.
materias? Pues sobre el periodo mínimo de descanso, sobre
These
las condiciones
conditions
de
are
trabajo,
often defined under the national legislation or in collective agreements.
aplicable
And they cover such elements as accommodation, working conditions, health and safety at the workplace, remuneration.
aquellos gastos
There
de
is one more interesting thing.
capacitación que sean
The
reconocidos
travel
por la
costs
Unión
and the
Europea
upkeep costs must be reimbursed by the employer to the driver. So any cost that the posted worker has incurred uh, as in
Bene,
condition in relation to that
se
posting
notano
must be
delle
reimbursed by the
specificità
employer.
per una parte che riguarda
Thank you very much for this
il
answer.
riposo e
The
il
new
sonno
regulation
e l'uso del tachigrafo.
also define the working time and the
Mi
rest
può dare
time.
un dettaglio, per favore?
And they also regulate the use of tachographs. What can you tell us about this?
Sí, quizás sea uno de los temas más complicados de abordar en la actualidad por los
It's
problemas
one of the
legales
most
que
difficult
existen actualmente.
subjects to discuss
El
right now.
tacógrafo es el que nos va a servir
And this is
para
because there are
medir
some new
los
regulations in
tiempos de
place
descanso de los
relating to
trabajadores.
tachographs. A
También
tachograph
tiene la
is used
obligación
to
de
monitor
gestionar
the working
las
time and
fronteras
the
de un
rest time.
miembro
And
de
whenever a
la Unión
driver
Europea.
crosses a
Así
border
pues,
of a member state,
desde
they
el
must
primer
record
momento
it
se reguló
in the
de una
tachograph.
manera radical
Starting
desde
1st of
la
January
aplicación
2025,
del Código
new
de Trabajo.
regulations are going to be
Ese
implemented
servicio
to
ha
cover
incluido
the recording of such
opciones
information. And this is a
diferentes
new
para
item in the
trabajar
mobility
que
package.
incorporan
So when you
una
record
carga
the
extra
crossing, additional elements come into play. So you record the working time, the rest time, but also the time when you load your truck, unload your truck, but also the time that the driver spends, for example, assisting passengers boarding the bus or disembarking. Also, a new concept of availability time has been introduced. That means the time when the driver is available to the worker, for example, when some maintenance work is carried out on the vehicle. Every 4 weeks, the driver must come back to their headquarters, which is usually the place where the company's establishment is located. And this is a crucial element of the new legislation. Right now, the automatic electronic tachographs should have been introduced by now, but unfortunately, the efforts were futile because not enough devices are available on the market, and some other problems also emerged. Also, there is other rules when the journey ends or goes to a country which is not a member state. So some of these rules have not yet been fully implemented, especially relating to tachographs.
Arriviamo all'ottava domanda, Angel. Il pacchetto dà una seria
I'm moving on now to my
alla
next question.
documentazione e alla pubblicità della
The mobility package lays down the documents that are necessary to document the posted journey of a driver. What kind of documents must the driver carry with them all the time and must be provided by the employer?
Sí, bueno, la obligación del empleador es primero hacer la publicación del desplazamiento y en segundo
The
lugar hacer el
employer
empleador
must first of all report the posting and must provide the employee with 3 documents. The first one of them is the copy of the posting declaration, and it can be done through an IMI system. And the worker needs to carry a copy or a hard copy of the document, or it must have an electronic version of it. The second document is a proof of transport operation carried out in the host member state. And this can be a consignment note or CMR. And the third document is actually the data recorded by the tachograph. In particular, the data must include the country symbols of the member states through which the driver has passed on the journey. So these are the 3 documents that must be carried by a lorry driver on a posted journey.
Mancano solo 2 domande, Angel. Tra le altre garanzie previste dal pacchetto,
2 more questions are left in our interview.
essere consegnati alla fine del viaggio.
There are some guarantees provided under this mobility package, and the guarantees also include the documents that must be passed on by the employer to the employee when the journey has ended. What are these documents? Actually, 5 documents must be provided by the employer within 8 weeks from the moment the journey has ended. The documents must be provided to the driver. These documents must be provided to the driver, but also recorded in the IMI system. What documents are those? First of all, the data recorded by the tachograph. We mentioned that already in my answer to the previous question. The other document is consignment notes. Another document is a proof that the driver's remuneration has been paid. Another document is the employment contract. And then finally, there are sheets specifying the working time of the driver. And these documents must be provided by the employer to the driver, but they also must be recorded in the IMI system within 8 weeks from the moment the journey has ended.
Siamo all'ultima domanda, che vuole essere un riassunto.
And I have a final question to you.
Sia nell'analisi
And it will be a summary of what we have said so far.
incontri che abbiamo fatto.
And we conducted research. We held some meetings in this project. And we held numerous conversations. What good practices could you think of to improve the mobility package? What are your recommendations to ensure that the working conditions of drivers are improved, but also that fair competition is maintained between the companies?
Bien, en este sentido, me vas a permitir que haga 2 diferenciaciones. Y antes me he referido
Let me tell you about 2 different things. In one of your earlier questions, I referred to the research findings and some things we managed to establish. And I must say, my organization has already started work, and we're actively supporting both drivers and hauliers. And we are in touch with them all the time, and we try to provide them with information that is as clear as possible, as understandable as possible. Because again, let me tell you, both drivers and employers complained that the information is either not there or not clear enough. The other work we have carried out, we launched some information campaign on our website, in our social media, in our other channels that we use. And our foundation works closely with a trade union called CSIT, because we often work together. And going forward, I believe we should still promote information and consultation and participation of workers, particularly in the area of international collaboration. Also, we need to be mindful of two important issues. First of all, we have to provide workers with good training sessions about health and safety and about social insurance during posting. And the second issue is something that requires a lot of work going forward. And what I mean here that we must analyze the risks to which the workers in the road transport sector are exposed. And based on the risk analysis, we need to implement some corrective action. Thank you. Very well. Thank you very much, Angel, for this interview. I would like to thank your foundation also, and I am convinced that this interview will be very useful to workers, employers, trade unions, representatives of public authorities who will take the chance of listening to our podcast, and that this interview will encourage them to look for further information about the mobility package. And through this, we will also achieve our objective, which was to improve the awareness of the mobility package and its impact on the situation of workers in the road transport sector. Thank you very much.